Yeah. Okay, raise yours a little bit higher because my hearing's not the best from raving a lot in my life.
What are you going to do?
I go to lots of concerts because I'm a fun guy.
You are a fun guy.
Yeah, which is, yeah, as it's a mushroom joke.
Fun guy. It's right over my head.
Shrooms joke. No.
So funny. I'm going to need a little less on that.
Okay.
A little less.
All right. Hold on.
You're good.
Okay, how about now?
That's nice.
Perfect. You're nice.
Ooh, thank you.
Camera-wise, everything good?
Oh, they got a nice over the shoulder of me and half of your face.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
All right.
I feel like that's, yeah.
Okay. Okay, and I am ready to go.
You're ready? I'm ready. All right. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hi, welcome to the Nickolas Natali show.
Way to start it off on a high note.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The highest of notes. What's going on? This is the Nickolas Natali show. I'm your host, Nickolas Natali,
Whoa,
and I am
shocker.
I know. I'm here with Ahmed Alkadri.
Yeah.
Woo!
Nailed it.
Thank you. I tried. I actually studied quite a bit for this. So
yes.
Yeah.
Dude, I enjoy it when people do their research. So
you have 387 Instagram posts. You best believe it. I believe I read every single caption, bro.
Really?
Every single one.
Oh my god! Wow, that's hilarious.
I might be inside of your head at this very moment.
I mean, well, I'm glad now you know my thought process.
Yeah.
From writing a joke to I should be sentimental, but then erase it and then just write a joke instead.
Exactly. But what also helps is you have a pretty face. So no matter what you say, people are gonna like that. They're gonna
Thanks,
like that.
man. Dude, yes. I'm a late bloomer. I'm a late good-looking person, so I'm starting to realize that I'm good-looking. So
that's good.
Yeah, I'm taking it. Give me all the compliments I need, bro. I need that sweet, kind words of affirmation.
Let it sink in. Don't let it sink in too much though, because I think what late bloomers have like an advantage with is the fact that they don't know that they're handsome.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what makes them so charming.
Yeah.
So you're right in the middle of like that spice, like I'm a charming guy, but hey, I know.
Yeah.
I know what's up. I know what's going on.
Yeah. Like I hate, because since you went through my Instagram, so when I used to do runway modeling, like all the other models were just really attractive, nothing else. Like they had no personality, and I hated talking to. There were some I'm still friends with a couple of guys I met during runway, but most of them I met were just like, man, you guys are just so full of yourself. It's and they're just boring. Yeah. They're just really boring.
Because that's all they got.
They have looks. That's all they have. Yeah. And it's like the one thing about looks, it's like it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at least just I don't know. At least I'm funny.
Yeah. At least you got something else to bring to the table. And I think if good looks will get you in the door.
Yes.
Right? But they're not gonna secure you the bag.
Definitely not.
Personality secures the bag.
Yeah. I let my charm get along. Well, my dad's very charming. My dad is super charming, so I think that's how my brothers and I learn how to like talk, like how he talks to people. That's
how does he talk? Hey, how does he talk to
like
people?
pretty much how I talk to you. Very friendly, very nice. The little joke, like a pun.
Eye contact.
You're
very warm. Yes. I feel very warm around you.
Thank you. Yeah, I like warm, and then like I do. Remember when I go, hey, like, and I do that little wink thing or a twitch, it's like, I had this, it's just like my dad. Like when hey man, like I'm gonna, like I do the eyebrow thing. I'm like, hey man, like
it's engaging.
I'm very engaging towards the person. Yeah. And I get it from my dad. Yeah.
Is your dad naturally that way, or is he doing it because he I'm sure he cares about people, but you know when they're like really trying to.
Oh, he is naturally like that. My dad is. Like, he's the epitome of putting people before himself.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, including his family.
No.
It's a joke. It's a
dad joke.
It's a dad joke, but he's, literally, right? But he's, he's a great guy, yeah. And, like, we're 5 boys, 1 girl, and all of my brothers, if you meet all of us, Pretty much exactly the same. Very like talk, like we're really ready to talk to you, and very nice, and wanting to joke around.
Yeah, just hang out.
Yeah.
So did you and your bros and your fam like start doing comedy skits together? Because I know your dad encouraged it, like encouraged you to be funny.
Yeah.
But was it like a family thing where?
Oh yeah. Like after, like especially we were the type of family that we'd all eat on the floor because there's not enough seats on the kitchen table. So we'd lay a mat on the floor and we'd just eat with our hands, depending on the dish we would eat. But yeah, we'd all finish eating, and then we're all joking around. I love just getting up, and my brothers and we would pretend to be like those Turkish soap operas that my mom watches.
Right.
Yeah. Or
that was your first character.
First character. Yeah, I remember my first character. I used to pretend to be this Egyptian show host. Yeah.
And the shoulders stuck with you to this day.
I still do the shoulders. Yeah. It was, I don't know, it was like, and just watching my dad talk to other people, like he would say the same jokes every time. Like I still memorize
his go-tos.
A lot of, his go-tos, his little one-liners, like people like, these are my kids, and like, wow, you have so many kids, and he goes, yes, the hospital had buy one get one free.
Oh my gosh, the favorite.
And people are loving it, and my brothers and I are like, oh my god. Or he'd be like, hey, what did the fish say when he hit the wall? Damn.
Boom, got him every time.
And people are just losing their shit, and I'm like, this is the word. I go, bro, Dad, you're a hack, Dad. You're such a hack.
Get off the stage, Dad. I'm sick of it.
Get off the stage. Yeah.
Well, he just he built the delivery to perfection, and that's why he kept repeating, because he knew the results were guaranteed. Every time.
He's very funny in person. Even like now, like he just sends like funny videos or memes that he thinks are funny. Your
dad's in the meme game.
My dad is in the Arabic meme game, or on Fridays he would send us like a Arab guy from like just speaking, giving a Friday lecture, and it's all in Arabic, and it's basically a story and something. So it's either like something religious or something just funny.
Yeah, that works. Something that's gonna build you up, or something that's gonna put a smile on your face.
Yeah, that's the way he vibes. I guess that's the way to put it.
Killer dad vibes.
He has killer dad vibes. But my dad and I still talk a good amount. But my family, we're not very like, we love each other, but we're not in each other's lives. Like growing up as a kid, like my dad, like my parents weren't in our lives a lot. Not like that, not like in a sense where they would, like, my dad paid for my school, and like he put us in private school and all that stuff, but he was just working and all that. But he'd be like, hey, did you do your homework? Like he wouldn't like, hey, sit us down and do our homeworks, and like made sure we were doing our shit. So it was just all like, did you do your homework? Yeah, we didn't. And we're just like, well, I mean, I was like fucking, until like we were getting like, when they would look at our report cards. And then they would get.
And then they'd see.
And they would say, "They're like, dude, what the fuck?"
You just lied to me the whole time.
Yeah. And then like, and then I didn't like become a better student till like 8th grade. I was like, oh, I need to like start working.
I would consider that still pretty early. Thankfully.
Yeah. I mean, I took my high school years pretty seriously. Some of my siblings didn't, but I did.
But you made it out.
Yeah, I made it out. I just really wanted to get accepted into a good college, which was the same college all my other friends went to.
But you still made it, right?
Hey, I mean, I have my degree, which was able to get me a good job, which was able to, get me here. So
that's right. And so your parents being kind of like, hey, did you do your homework, that sort of thing, do you think that built independence in you? Because I think
100%.
People aren't as inclined to make a huge jump to Dallas, Texas, to LA, baby.
LA, baby.
LA, living that LA life, LA life, baby.
Yo.
But I do think that probably built a lot of independence to say, yeah, I could do stuff that I want to do, right?
Oh, 100%. Like, a lot of, especially in the Muslim community, a lot of the parents are like, helicopter parents, and it's like, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're supposed to do. You know,
Yeah.
my parents gave us a lot of freedom to do whatever we did. Like I said, like my dad gave us a lot of independence, and which was interesting because we grew up quicker than others, and we learned a lot. We pretty much learned lives in ourselves, as in we made mistakes, we learned from our mistakes, and just kept going, you know.
Yeah.
For some of my brothers, it worked out. For me, it worked out. For some, but hey, you know, that's what parenting is. You know, it's trial and failure.
That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah, you know, you get 6 kids, you're like, all right, it worked for this kid. You know,
You're going for a passing grade when you have 6 kids. You're shooting for 4 or 5 out of 6. You're all right.
Yeah, like,
one's gonna get away.
Yeah, one's gonna, you know, kind of. But like for me was what was cool. It's like, and it's how I am with my little brothers too, and I feel like that's how I am gonna be with my kids. It's like, this is what I expect you to do, and if you need help, let me know.
Yeah.
But I trust you. I think you're gonna do great. You know, I believe in you.
You give
I
them the power.
But I give them the power. Like my dad, yeah. Like I was working since I was like 16.
By choice? By choice?
Yeah, by choice. I was like, I can get my own job. Maybe because my dad started, he was like, you know what, I'll give you allowance. And then like, after like straight up like 2 weeks of asking him, like week 1, he gave me I think $20. And then week 2, he gave me $20. And then week 3, he's like, go get a job.
Go get a job. I'm sick of this.
Yeah, I was like, all right. And then, you know, worked shoe store. Before I was legally able to work, I used to, the Muslim American Society called MAS. It's like the Muslim community in Dallas was really big. And I used to sell Muslim calendars.
Really?
Yeah.
That's entrepreneurial.
Yeah, like he would, this guy named Uncle Marwan, he was like, he would give me a stack of calendars. He'd be like, they're $5 each. You get $2 for every calendar you sell.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice commission right there.
It was a pretty good, now that I think about it, that's a really good commission. So I went hard.
Yeah, what was your sales pitch? I could just see all of this building you to who you are today. Like, this is beautiful.
I remember going door to door, and this was in luckily the community we lived in, our Muslim neighborhood, there was lots of Muslims living there, but I went door to door. I'm talking about even non-Muslims. Like, even if you're not Muslim, like you could still get this calendar. And I mean, because it had like the September, like the regular months, but then it would be like in the other side, like in Arabic, or like, well, it's transliteration, so it's like Dhul Hijjah, and then it's like, which is it's a Islamic month. And I remember this one white guy, like he was just like, I like you, kid. He gave me $5. He's like, I don't want the calendar.
See?
Yeah, he was just like, here, just take $5. Let's get it. And then he goes, by the way, he pointed at his sign and it said no soliciting. And then I go, oh, sorry, I don't know what that means. And then he goes, and I really didn't. And he just starts laughing. He was like, he goes, it means don't be knocking on people's doors, but it's okay, you get out of here.
Dang.
But
you made a hard sell. A guy that didn't want anyone to sell to him, you got him to buy.
Yeah, which is funny because if it's something if it's a product that I believe in, I could sell.
Yeah.
But
believe in the calendars.
Hey, I was determined to make that $2 commission, and the coolest part was like, my dad was very honest, the same as us. Like it didn't even cross my mind to take the money for myself. You know what I mean? I went to Uncle Marwan and I was like, hey, I sold this many calendars, and this is all based on trust. I was like, here's your money. Yeah. And he was like, wow,
cool. Yeah, thank you. Good job.
Yeah, good job. You know, and I think I made a good amount. I sold a lot. I think I made at least $100 out of it.
Dang.
Which is a lot.
That's pretty good. As a kid, if I had $100, that's lasting a year,
exactly,
dude.
Yeah, that was fucking balling, bro. I had candy and all that shit.
Anything I wanted from the dollar store, shoot.
But yeah, that, and then I got a job at DK Foot and Casual. It's just like an old shoe store in the hood.
Yeah, okay. How did you deal with the characters there? And define hood. Like define.
Well,
like, did you feel safe walking into work?
Yes. So because my coworker Portia, she said, this ain't the ghetto, this the hood. She goes, the difference between the ghetto is like, I forgot what was her explanation. All I know is I was in the hood. That's all.
You led me right up to the line, and I was like, "What is the difference? I need to know."
I honestly kind of don't remember. This was almost 10 years ago. I don't really remember what.
But the passion is flowing.
Yeah.
The shoe store was killing it for you.
I mean, it was fun. Like, it was a good experience. I learned how to sell there too, like how to be a better salesman, and just like talking to different people. And I remember like just I had like that little go-to line to say, little jokes,
yeah.
but after like a few weeks I would just get bored and think of something new to say, and I'm like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like I remember it was 2011. This was the hottest summer in Texas ever recorded.
Oh balls! What are we talking? 116?
Yeah, it was triple digits, easy. But this is when Dallas beat Miami Heat and we won our championship. Yeah,
Dirk was the man.
Yeah, it was Dirk's prime. And then people would come in the store and I'm like, hey, how's it going? How's your day? He goes, man, it's hot out. I was like, yo, it's all good. Dallas always beats the Heat. And everyone's like, oh.
Love it. I'm going to buy all of your shoes now.
Yeah. I said it for like every day for a week. And then my coworker's like, just stop.
I've heard it too many times.
And I was like, fine.
Yeah. I'll find a new routine. Jeez, I get it. La Portia, stop.
Yeah. It was La Portia, Chastity, Desiree. And I'm Facebook friends with a few of them.
Does that count? Do you think that counts, Facebook friends?
I mean,
if you hit them up,
but you know me, I will message the person. I'm one of the few people like Facebook and Instagram. I will reach out. I'm like, or I'll just text like, hey, not been thinking about you, but like, hey, just wanted to reach out, see how you're doing.
Yeah.
I do it to lots of people, just to catch up and just know that someone out there cares about you.
Yeah.
You know.
I try to do the same thing, and I don't know. I think it's worth it, but I also think it's a lot of effort. Like, I still do it to this day, and I typically have, like, a lot of... I'm not going to flex here, but I have a lot of messages in my iPhone queued up because I'm like, okay, like, every 3 weeks I'm going to text that person because I keep it as a new until I read it, to reach out. Mm-hmm. And it's all for the same reason, to let them know you care.
Yeah. I try to make it a habit to FaceTime. I mean, my brothers and we FaceTime all the time. Mm-hmm. How that rhymed. Well, it didn't rhyme. It was just, I mean, it would
rhymed on a rhyme on the same word.
It would rhyme if you were a SoundCloud rapper, but
true. I mean, we could put a
it's like you just use the same word twice. Like, that's a rhyme.
But did it sound good though?
Hell yeah!
What was my flow though?
Bro, with this mic and
whatever this thing is, yeah. Just FaceTime my bros all the time.
Hey, yeah.
Just like that.
We champions, so get that ring like Frodo.
Ooh, not bad. Okay, I'll take it.
I was watching Lord of the Rings last weekend.
It's starting to add up. I'm starting to see it.
It's starting to add up.
I got a good question for you that I've been brewing on.
Yeah.
It's steamy for me. It's hot. It's juicy. It's fat.
It's a hot dump.
It's a hot dump of a question. All right, so when somebody introduces you... let's say they introduce me and they're like, or I'm going somewhere and they're like, hey, my friend Rick is going to be there. Rick and Nick. Rick's going to be there, and I've been telling him like how funny you are, you know? Do you feel pressure when people say, hey, my friend Ahmed's coming, he's a stand-up comedian? Like, do you feel like you got to be on now?
So, oh man, it really depends. Like, I mean, if I know that they told everybody to do stand-up, which it kind of helps because I'm generally, even before, like, people would be like, oh, this is my friend Ahmed.
You should do stand-up.
Yeah, well, he's just really, like, I remember, like, in college, be like, oh, you're Ahmed. Yeah, my friend. He said, you're really funny. You know, that was just, that's Ahmed. Oh, he's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's either he's really nice or he's really funny.
Well, those are both good.
Or he's really annoying. But, hey, you know, you can't win them all.
Cannot win them all.
You can't win them all. But, I mean, if they, well, the thing is, it's like, when I say they know they do stand up, I'm joking around being silly.
Yeah.
And then when they know, oh, you do stand up, they want to know, like, sometimes you hear the classic, tell me a joke. And then at first I was like trying to tell one of my jokes. And then I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, I need to sit y'all down.
Yeah.
There's a time and place. But there have been times where I would purposely say, like a fucked up joke just to piss everybody off. Like one time this girl, she goes, say a joke. I go, women's rights.
Boom.
And then
She didn't talk to you the rest of the night.
Well, the guys in the table laughed.
I always think it's funny.
The guys in the table laughed, and then a few girls laughed, and then obviously a few other girls like, oh, shut up. Like,
Yeah.
But luckily they knew me, or some that didn't know me. They were like, I'm like, and then I go, guys, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
You have to
actually.
make it clear.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, guys, I'm just joking. And then I go, like, I do stand up. Like, I need a time and place, and like a couple other
Guys,
people
I'm really funny. Just right now is not a good time. Okay, like trust me, I'm so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I could like. There's a difference between like being funny right now and then being funny on stage.
I was gonna say there has to be a different type of comedy.
And you know that, like, you've seen stand up and you've seen.
Just people interacting that are
exactly
good to be around.
Yeah. So it's a lot different. My dad he hasn't done that to me yet, but I have a feeling once I'm like more established, he's gonna start like. Well, we haven't been to like a party or a fundraising event yet. Like he hasn't been like, oh, this Ahmed, he's a comedian like that.
Yeah.
But I know it's coming. So
it'll happen. You're building like your set list for the stage, and then your set list for when you go visit your dad.
I actually have a note. I actually have notes of like, oh, sorry, I just got a text because I have a friend who wants to join us for Dave's. We're going to Dave's Hot Chicken after this.
Hot chicken, baby. I'll take it away from here. Dave's Hot Chicken. This guy does fast food Fridays, yes. which I have had that idea before because I'm in the fast food game, brother.
Yeah. Oh, I love fast food.
What I like that you do is you leave an authentic comedic review. What I would do is just say, this is my favorite thing on the menu. This is what you need.
Yeah.
Boom. Get that.
Yeah. I started Fast Food Fridays because I was in my car. I'm always in my car.
You are always
but
that's LA.
Yeah. And Dallas too. I think we'll table this, but I think the reason why I could handle LA traffic, because Dallas traffic, it's not as bad, but it's pretty bad.
It's up there.
It's up there. Yeah, it's in the top, like in the America top 10 cities for traffic. Obviously, LA's and New York are number one, but
Dallas is in top 5.
Dallas, yes, it's up there. I mean, and Dallas has some like fucking stupid drivers. Like, to people watching at home or in Dallas, how many times you're driving on 35 or 75 and you would just see a car on fire, just on fire.
For no reason, just one by itself.
No, you're driving, you're like, why is there traffic? Oh shit, there's a car on fire.
How do you get in that predicament?
I don't know. And then you would see, and I'm laughing because I've
seen it so many times.
I've seen it so many times. Or you'd be on 75, which is like a popular highway there, and you would just see a car just upside down, flipped over, and just drivers, like the driver next to it, just standing next to his flipped car like this.
What am I gonna do to fool it?
How did this happen?
How am I here and my car's right there?
Yeah, it's like, how did this happen? But
by myself with no one around. How did I flip this?
The pole came out of nowhere. But yeah, I was just driving to, like, during break to a restaurant, to Whataburger, my favorite fast food. I fucking love.
Your number one? You think that's the number one?
Yes. Whataburger's number one. Yes.
Dang. We'll touch back on
Taco Bell, good second. I love
second.
Not second, but I don't know, man. I just love fast food so much, so I can't really have tiers, like, because all fast food's different.
Don't even start with me, dude. You have to choose one.
Okay.
There's one ultimate.
Well, Whataburger's my favorite. If you had to pick fast food, Whataburger.
Okay. That's fair.
I'll be like, hey, you want to go fast food? Yes, Whataburger.
Whataburger to In-N-Out. What's your take on that?
Whataburger shits on In-N-Out.
Oh, dude. I've had Whataburger, bro. I don't know.
Have you had the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich.
I have not. You're right. If that's the best.
That's
But then
the best.
I think you're right. They have to be different because I would compare that to like Chick-fil-A or something, right? 'Cause I
Yeah,
can't.
Chick-fil-A is its own league.
Yeah.
You know? Exactly, dude. You gotta love it all,
You got
man.
me all worked up. Yeah. Back to your story. You're on break, heading to
Well, I was
Whataburger.
at a Whataburger, and I was just like, I play a lot of characters in my head, and I was thinking like those little cheesy, like, hi, like having my own little show. I'm like, hi, welcome to this. Like, I
Yeah,
love fast food restaurants, and I was the shoulders,
Yeah.
little shoulder character.
Back to what was it? The Turkish?
Yeah,
Turkish?
the Egyptian
The
lady,
Egyptian.
like, hi, little sassy, you
Yeah.
know. But I just, this was like almost a year ago. Yeah, a little over a year ago. Yeah, May of 2018 or March of 2018. But I was just like making jokes while going to a restaurant. I was like, this burger is just so like delicious and nutritious. Like, do you know how you have people who are just so descriptive on things?
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking, what if I just described what I'm eating, but in a very funny way?
Comedic way, yeah.
In a comedic way. And I was doing it every Friday. I did all these restaurants around Dallas, kept it going on Friday.
Change the battery pack.
Change the battery pack. But you don't want to do half video, half. Fuck it. All right.
It's fine.
Okay.
The camera just turned off if you're listening to this.
If you're just listening,
if
yeah.
you just turned in, the camera just turned off, all right?
That's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever.
And what was I saying?
Your little comedic show, brother.
Yeah. And I just, wrote it on a notepad what I would write. And I think I just did it because I love fast food. I love comedy. And then I start
Your two passions coming
my
together.
two passions just coming together. Yeah. And it made me a better joke writer too.
Yeah.
And like one of my favorite jokes I wrote in there, and I want to use it on stage. Because if I have it's on my notepad. I have a bank of just everything there.
Just golden
of
jokes.
Just gold, really good jokes where I'm like, guys, this is really clever. Because that's the thing about joke writing. It's like joke writing, it's a numbers game. You just write as many jokes as you can, and then one, it's like, oh fuck, that's a good one. And someone, and some just suck.
I mean, it happens.
But as you move along and you just write better jokes as you're.
Do you always know that it sucks, or do you have to test it on stage a few times until you know?
Oh, some jokes I know it sucks, or some jokes you don't. That's the thing about stand-up. It's like you put it in front of an audience and you write this bit out.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, this part was funny. What you thought
was going to be the punch.
Was going to be a big funny part. That wasn't funny. But then you realize, oh, this part was funny because it was truth or honest or the way I delivered it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, yeah. And I think what I've been kind of stewing on is comedy might be something that you're just learning, right? Like every time you get out there, you're finding what's funny. Like you're learning what is comedic.
Yeah.
And that gets laughs, which feels almost unnatural to people that are just naturally charming in conversation and can get easy laughs like just by conversing.
And being in the moment.
Yeah. But then once you're on a stage and you have these things that you're going to say, like you don't know always what's going to be funny. And do you mix it up every time or?
I mix it up. Yeah. Look, when you say mix it up, as in the types of jokes I'm using, or like the punchline, or
I think I'm saying,
or the way or delivery.
I almost want to say mixing it up based on where you are. Like, do you have any like little testers for crowds and be like, okay, this crowd likes dark humor?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've okay. So that time you saw me doing stand up,
Yeah.
I wrote the set list that like before. Like I want to say the comedian before I came up, or two comedians before I came up, I was writing my set list.
Because you're gauging the crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah. I was like, all right, let me write. I'm gonna use this joke. I'm gonna open with this. I really want to test out this joke, so I'm gonna work it out in the middle.
Yeah.
Like failing to prepare is preparing to fail. So you gotta
wing it last minute.
Yeah, I mean, no, there are people who like just get up and they're gonna wing it, and I've done that before.
How does it go?
It went well. You know, there's some comedians. So to answer your question, yeah, I just mix it up a bit. there's times where it's a good hot crowd, and I'm like, all right. This is when Todd Barry said this to Mark Norman, and Mark Norman said it on a podcast, but he said, keep the jokes tight and the set loose. Yeah. So, and Patrice O'Neill, he has an advice. He says, always leave room for fun.
I like that.
And which, yeah.
Because I imagine it being almost pretty self-critical, like pretty perfectionism when it comes to joke telling. Like comedians want it to be this perfect, nail that joke, right?
Yeah. There's so many times where I would finish a set and I did really well, but I go, oh, I forgot this tag. This tag would have killed.
Yeah.
But I do switch it up in a sense where I have my jokes ready to go, and then I get up on stage, and then I try to, like, when you saw me on stand-up, I worked I try to talk to the crowd.
Yeah, I love that. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
You told some girl she sounded like Donald Duck or something, and I loved that.
Thank you. Well, she did heckle me, and oh my god, if you heckle me, I get annoyed.
Hit me with your best and worst heckler moments, or like even your first heckler ever. Yeah, give me the two and your first one ever.
I've had okay, I don't have best heckler moment, but I've had like really good. Well, there's a difference between heckler and crowd work, but I've had good moments where like that Donald Duck, that's a good one. That was it just came up right off the head. Oh, one time this guy, he was wearing like a bright orange shirt, and he was just sitting on the side, but like
minding his own business.
No. He wasn't. He while I was doing my set, he like it was like he dropped something.
Ooh,
and I was
asking
like,
for it.
Yeah, and I was like, and everyone everyone turned and looked, and even me, and I go, oh wow, like I was like, are you okay? Like you didn't hurt yourself or anything? And then like he was like, no, I'm fine. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, by the way, I love your shirt. You look like a flavor for Sunny D. And then everyone like, and I was like, yeah.
That's perfect too, because those situations like can kill momentum or just make it. You know what I mean? Like somebody drops a glass and then somebody stands up there and goes, okay, back to what I was saying. You know,
yeah,
it's like,
you have to address it, be in the moment. It helped being an improviser before stand up. That helped. But then there was moments where. This was, the worst. I have a couple bad heckler moments to where, well, this one wasn't as bad. One time, like, I was doing my set, and right when I said the punchline, this drunk guy just yelled. He was just like, yeah, like that. And then I got mad, and I go, shut the fuck up.
That was a jerk reaction, right?
It was my jerk reaction of just shut the fuck up, like that. And then everyone was like, like the whole room just got a little tight. And then I go, and then I smiled. I was like, because you just ruined a nice moment. And I go, what's your name? He's like, David. And then I was like, how drunk are you? And he was like, oh, it's my third beer. I was like, oh, I remember when I was in high school. And then everyone laughed. Yeah, I loosened it up. And then I was like, hey man, I was just joking when I said shut the fuck up.
I really meant it in the moment.
I really meant it at the moment, but I was like, hey man, you're cool. I was like, I like you like that. And then I was like, what? And then I went back to my set. One time, this was like a month ago, man, I still remember it. It was, luckily it was just an open mic, but it was at Fourth Wall. And you know what? I'm not gonna say his name. I don't even want to say his name.
Don't even think about saying his name, because I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna look at every single Instagram post.
Exactly, but the thing for those of y'all who don't know, Fourth Wall, it's like they have a couple locations in LA, but this is just all comics. Everyone pays $5. It's a $5 entry, but it's just 9-10 comics. Everyone does 5 minutes each. It's like 50 minutes long. Everyone does a set. You have to stay in the room, and it's a pretty good system, and it's great to just work out material. So that day I spent all day just writing, and like I didn't even think to myself, hey, before getting on stage, like be in the moment and stuff, because it's Fourth Wall. It's all comics. You just stick to the script. You just work out your material.
Yeah. And that's what it's for, right?
That's what it is for. I mean, there's times where, you would like talk to the crowd, but it's usually all your friends and it's just other comics. But that night I was writing all day and I was like, all right, I just need to work these bits out. I need to figure out if they hit or just rehearse if the crowd, because it's all comics, And then I was just like, after I finished my first joke, or I was riffing off of something, and then I was like going to my notebook, and then he was like, the comic, who wasn't even, dude, his set wasn't even good. Like, and he was just so like, whatever. He wasn't funny, and he goes, you could talk about your Jew-ass shoes. And I was wearing Sperry's, and I was like, and I literally go, huh? Like, that was my first reaction. I was like, Jew-ass shoes. And I was like, first that didn't make sense. And then I go, well, what about your shorts? You look like you shop at Target.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good, but it was like, that was my comeback. And then he was like, nah, like that. Like, he was like, nah.
Just cut it, yeah.
Just cut it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's like, nah, like that. And I was like, well, you're an asshole.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
And then that just and then from that moment, he won. You know what I mean? And trust me, I've written this on my stand-up and my feelings journal.
Yeah.
Like, multiple times. I was angry. For the next 3 days, I was so, because he won that moment.
Yeah.
And then the whole crowd, everyone was just quiet. And then I couldn't even go back to my set. And then I just started like, oh, it gets worse. And then I was like, and then I was trying to go back to my set. I was like, see, look what you did, man. I was like, your joke wasn't even funny. So and he's like, no, man, you got stupid shoes like that. And then his friend. And this
dang it up.
And the worst part it was him, and then he had his friends with him.
He was backed up.
So he was
rolling deep.
Yeah. So it was me going against a guy who was heckling me, and then he had his friends with him. So everything I said was they're not gonna laugh.
No way.
And everything they said, which wasn't even funny,
hysterical,
and they were laughing loud. Yeah, like at one point he's like, yeah, your shoes. He goes, yo, Jewish, you look like you ran away from Hitler. And I was like, this doesn't even, and I literally go, dude, this doesn't even make sense. I was like, your jokes aren't even good. But they were still laughing loud. Yeah. And they're like, no, you just, whatever, you weak. And then like the other guy's like, you look like a refugee. And they loved it. God. And I was like, oh my. And then I just like, I started laughing. I was like, this isn't even funny. I was like, I was getting annoyed. And then I was just like, hey man, you owe me $5. Yeah. And I literally just got off stage just so angry, so annoyed, because I was like, I came in and tried to work out material, and just out of the blue heckles me, which threw me off. Oh yeah. So he won from that moment. Yeah. And then he just kept winning. Yeah.
I mean, he rolled deep, so he had an advantage. But what do you do when you get something like that and you have to take something away from that, right? Are you chasing that win the moment every time kind of deal? Because it's your stage. You're not gonna
win every moment.
That's true.
That's just life.
Then you're trying to win the show then. Maybe.
Yeah, you want to win the show, and obviously I mean, I'm glad that this happened at an open mic place in front of comics.
Yeah.
You know, so it's definitely a really good learning experience, obviously, looking back at it. But, dude, I was so angry. And he was just like, oh, like, after the set, he was like, he was dabbing me up. And then I literally shoved him with one. I was like, fuck you, dude.
Like, get away from me. Why?
And then we talked, and then he was very stubborn about, no, you can't heckle. This is training. I was like, bro, this is comics. We're trying to work out jokes. And then me and other comics started arguing it, and it just got annoying. But
debacle.
Yeah, but I mean, in the end, like, if I see him, I'm not gonna get mad at him. I don't care. Like, I have.
You wrote it out. You wrote it out in your feelings journal.
My feelings journal.
It's all out there.
It's out there. Like, I wrote it. I took a really valuable lesson. Yeah. Which is, you're not gonna win them all. And at that moment, I should have just like, what I should have done was that joke. I should have just been like, Jew-ass shoes, huh? I don't have time for this. Anyways, and then just did that. Yeah. And I've had or sometimes you're doing a set, you hear a girl yell.
Heckle or something, yeah.
You know? Like that night when you were at my show, and she yelled no.
Yeah, she just yelled something random. Yeah,
Yeah,
like not
she
even.
just like, and you're like, dude, you're just a. By the way, it's always drunk white women.
It, yeah. It's always a bunch of drunk people.
Yeah, it's always drunk people or a black crowd, or if they don't respect you,
They're gonna let you know.
they're gonna let you know.
But that's interesting because you drove from LA to San Diego, and I know the commute from San Diego to LA not always fun. So you just spent 2.5 hours to do a 10-minute show.
Yeah.
And this chick's trying to stomp your time, bro.
Yes.
You know? So like I feel like that's really a skill that you gotta like, I'm not gonna let this get to me.
Yes.
Like this because there was a guy after you that went up the same night, and his like somebody said something to him or like said his punchline before he said it because it was like
And he cussed her out. Yeah.
he was kind of like defeated, and he had the same commute you did, and he just spent all this time, and now he's 3 minutes into a show, and now it's
Yeah. I remember that.
so I mean I just think you're right of like learning to deal with those hecklers has to be like a must.
Yeah, there's just so much things to learn when it involving stand-up. It's like, you have the writing aspect, then you have the performance aspect, then you have crowd work, and then you have like crowd work is fun, but it shouldn't be it shouldn't. Everyone's different, but for me, it's like, I don't know. It's like, okay, like I'll address the crowd, like just to let people know that I'm in the moment and I'm cool with everybody and let's have fun. And then it's like, all right, now to my jokes.
Yeah.
Because this is like,
You're
this is
warming
an
up.
act. This is a performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, hecklers suck.
They do suck.
But you have to, like I said, you just have to learn to, and that, what the Mike or the other night where I got just defeated, it's probably going to happen in a couple of years. Who knows? Maybe tonight on my show tonight, I might just get wrecked.
Definitely a possibility.
But I've had, but also wrote in my journal was like that night. It was him and his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other night with, like, when you were at the show, you were there when I called her Donald Duck and everything.
Perfect.
The crowd was on my side, too.
We already liked you.
Yeah, you guys liked me.
There's 2 comedians before you that didn't get very many laughs. You came in hot with, like, 3 really funny jokes right away. We loved you. We were waiting for you. And then she was asking for it.
Yeah. And then, and back to, like, I started off addressing what the last comic was saying.
Yeah.
Which I think it worked. I think he likes me. He just doesn't respond very well back. But I think I already sent you the message. I'll be, doing all Thanksgiving weekend, all this in San Diego. I'll be doing
San Diego people.
Yes.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
San Diego. I'll be at the Madhouse Comedy Club. I think that Friday and Saturday, Thanksgiving weekend. I'm super pumped.
Make it happen.
I may need a place to crash.
That's right. Hey, the Burb's always open for you, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
I like how I'm asking you on your podcast.
Hey, the pressure's on, and I'm here to deliver.
Just so you
anytime.
say yes.
yeah, dude, come over anytime. Nah.
Yeah, but wait, what was your other question?
I got another question. So we kind of touched base on this, like let's take that woman's right joke for example.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So you are Muslim, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm Christian, and I have like similar, like, it's difficult for me to toe lines, if that makes sense, of comedy.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't want to be a reflection of the things that I believe.
Who you are.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's separation. So when you're thinking of material, and you're delivering performances and things like that, like where's your line? Like how do you choose?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, I mean, I think, well, like when I write, I don't deliberately write it like the premise itself is not against women's rights. Like Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, like that's their thing.
Yeah,
like they push
they're edgy.
lines.
Yeah.
They're edgy, but they push lines, and I think that's what makes them so great, because they're good enough to. Because now we're at the point where we're like most audiences, it's like you say something, and a lot of audience, it's like, okay, what's your point?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Me, like I personally, I just want to be funny, and I just all of my material are just jokes.
Yeah.
You know? So my dark, edgier material, like my one-liners, like they're more like the audience has to know that I'm a good, just lighthearted person that's just joking, you know? Which is why and if you think about it in real life, you and your best friends, y'all could say dark jokes.
We say crazy stuff.
Exactly. But that's the thing about, like, my best friends, like we all went to Mammoth Lakes a couple weeks ago, and we're a very diverse group, and we're all comics, you know, we had you know, a half black, Australian, we had a gay, we kept saying yeah, we were like, we have a gay, like we kept saying we have a gay, but we were all just, and me, I'm Muslim, and we were all just joking around with each other. And what was said at that trip,
it stays there. It stays there.
Yeah. But the funny part is we were just joking. You know, we had a Jewish person, and we were like just saying and he was saying to me while I was saying it. So it was just funny things. But that's the thing about the humor. It's just like, I think as humans, it's fun to like cross the line. It's kind of
100%.
Yeah, it's fun to like.
Shock factor.
Yeah, I remember, and I still remember my first shock experience was I was in high school. I entered the Ramadan speech contest.
Let's go.
Yeah, and this was 2009. So this was the year Michael Jackson died.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I remember.
Oh no.
So I was giving a speech about how. I think my theme was like focusing on yourself. Don't be distracted to what the world is trying to put on you. Just focus on yourself, being a better person than you were before. And me, this was when I used to be a really good practicing Muslim. No, still am.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. No, I still fast and pray. I try to make all the prayers, but I was like saying, like, you know, we all should all be good Muslims and this and that. And then, but I remember at one point in the speech, I go, guys, raise your hand if you were sad about Michael Jackson's death. A lot of people rose their hands. I go, who cares? And then everyone laughed. You had laughs and that big reaction was just like a serotonin, like dopamine.
Exhilarated.
It was like, whoa, you're like, because this thing is, it's like, it's fun to be like I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm going, but here's the thing, it's like, and I think that's what people, George Carlin said it a lot better, but he was saying there's some people who just want to say it just to say it, and you don't know people's intentions behind it.
Exactly, yeah.
Like let's say the Shane Gillis thing. Have you heard?
No idea. Okay,
so this is a big thing for a couple of weeks, but there's this comic who just got hired for SNL, but there are people who, because you know you live in the day and age where everyone looks through your old shit.
Oh gosh.
So they went through all his old shit, and they found him in a podcast episode of he and his friend saying like some Chinese slurs.
Yeah.
You know. And
man, they listen through podcasts and podcasts and podcasts just to find the day.
That's the thing. It's like, or maybe like this person has it out against you. They'll record the fucking fucking record you, whatever. But thing about, and I'm not for I'm not condoning anything about. So that's like, I'm not gonna fucking say that on stage or on a podcast, you know.
Yeah.
But it's also like, as a person, I don't know who this guy is. It's like maybe context.
Yeah.
It's like maybe they were just like saying, let's try to say horrible things and try to get away with it. Because there are some comics who just, that's their thing, where they will say the slur or say a bad thing. But then there are some people who do it in a funny way or a very clever way where you could get away with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about how you
I think, to answer your question about like why do me or other comics like to cross the line, because it's like it's kind of fun to break the rules. It's kind of, in a weird way, it's fun to be like, let me see if I could get away with this.
Yeah.
And when you in a weird, and I guess as a human, it's like you do something and you get away with it. It's like you kind of feel
Yeah,
you feel icky inside.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. Like remember when you did your first sin?
Oh, I remember it.
Yeah, you're
my
just
very
like,
first one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're just like
Ooh, that felt kind of nice.
That felt weird. But me, like, but I, even though I don't think of myself as a dirty comic. I don't even think of myself as a clean comic. I just want to write what's funny.
Right.
If a joke happens to be dark, and I'm very self-aware. Like if I know, okay, this is gonna piss some people off, I have to earn the audience's trust. You know.
So I mean that's a great note. They have to know you a
They have
little
to
bit.
know
You have
you.
to set yourself up before you can.
And I think that's why Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle, they're able to talk about these things.
Because the audience has been with them for years.
Yeah, they know who Dave Chappelle is. They know who Bill Burr is. They know this is Bill Burr. He's going to say something like a crazy or a crazy stance on something. Yeah. And then he starts proving himself and you're like, that's in a very
Maybe I think like that.
In a very funny way.
Yeah.
And you're just like, huh, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what like the big comics, that's what made Richard Pryor so great. Richard Pryor started the whole black people do this, white people do that.
Yeah.
And that's every other
comedian now.
Most black comedians do that now. Mm-hmm. They're just, but I'm not saying they're ripping him off. They're basically they're very influenced by that. Yeah. Because that's, you know, it was a game changer when Richard Pryor got up, just super funny, talked about how white people act, and everyone's like, that's hilarious. Yeah. Dave Chappelle's sketch show, where he's in whiteface. And he's talking like a white person. Like I one of my favorite Dave Chappelle show sketches, the racial draft.
Hit me. I haven't seen it.
Oh my God. It's so, I don't want to ruin it. We could watch it after, but it's so funny. It was just basically like each race, picking a person who they want. So like first it was like the blacks came out and they go, hi, we as a black nation or a black race of blacks, we choose Tiger Woods. And Tiger Woods gets out and it's Dave Chappelle acting like Tiger. He goes, oh, I've always wanted to be this. So long fried rice, how long fried chicken, and everyone's just like, but it's a great sketch, and it's so. But that's the thing. It's like he's pushing boundaries. Yeah. He's pushing all these.
And you have to be good, right?
And you have to be good.
But there's also a line there of like, everybody's pushing these lines just to be good. You know what I'm saying? What I mean?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And a big thing was Louis C.K. When I started out in comedy, that was like I started stand up when I was 23, and at that time there were so many. This was Louis C.K.'s prime, and Louis C.K. was, I mean, brilliant writer, but he got away with saying some fucked up shit. Yeah. And he was shocked. It was a lot of it was shock, but it was really funny the way he presented it, his delivery and everything. And it took him, and people don't realize it took 30 years to pull this off. Yeah. And then you have comics who get up and they're just trying to do the same thing. And it's just like, dude, you're just a fucking asshole.
We don't know you.
Yeah.
We don't know
no one knows you. And you're just saying these terrible
right off the bat. Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're just saying, they think they could get, like, they think, oh, I'm going to say these rape jokes.
We don't want to hear it from you.
And no one wants to hear it. And now it's like, okay, who is this guy? And why he's just saying rape jokes and trying to, and it's not even clever. It's not funny. It's not, it's just shock. Yeah. And you have to, and for me, one, like this was back in Dallas, he was like this one comic is like works at Hyenas, but he said, do not try, you're a new comic, do not try to have a message. Do not try to prove your point on other people. Mm-hmm. Do not try to get off your pedestal or your soapbox. Right now, just focus on being funny.
Just get some laughs.
Just get laughs. Just be funny. And that for me, like I took that and ran with it, because that's all I want. Like I don't care. Like I want my audience to be diverse. I don't want a just Muslim audience or a just black. Yep. I want my audience to be very diverse in a big crowd of everybody because I want everyone to just have a good time.
Yeah. Which brings me to another really good question.
Ooh.
A really, really juicy question. I was in San Francisco not too long ago. I think probably not too long ago. And
I know that month.
Yeah.
That's my favorite month.
Not too long ago. Not too long ago, Weary. I was at the Golden Gate Bridge. This is gonna be a long, drawn out story.
No, I love it. I'm all ears, buddy.
Yes, thank you. I'm at the Golden Gate Bridge. This guy, he's from China. If he's listening to this, I won't say his name. I was about to. He comes up to me and he's like, "Hey man, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm great." He likes me. I'm like, I gotta go to a comedy show. It's 6 miles away. I'm gonna walk there. You're welcome to come. Didn't think he would want to. There's a huge barrier in our language, so he's just sticking along.
Because he's bored.
yeah, he's got nothing else to do. So 3 hours later, we get to the comedy club. It's super small. It's in a basement under a bar.
Oh, is it called The Setup?
It might be. There was a bear. There's a bear logo.
I think that might be the place. I might do a spot there, but keep going.
You should. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But the two comics were just chilling there right before, and I asked them, like, why did you get into comedy? And one of them said, "Oh, my heart got broken. I was really hurt." Mm-hmm. And then the other guy, I was like, "Well, what about you?" He was like, "Oh, something happened, and I felt a lot of pain from it. So this is how I deal with my pain."
Yeah.
Which means they have a really strong why they're in comedy. Uh-huh. Like, what is your why?
Wow, first off, great story.
Thank you.
Not drawn out. And second, this is a really good question. I just want attention.
Okay.
So, and it's a really good thing because what you said, those two people, those same things, it's like I feel the same way. Mm-hmm. To a point where, why do I do? Well, I think I hate to be cheesy about this.
No, it's fine.
But it probably goes back to when on my first improv class, I was like, 21, 22. And they were like, "Why are you here?" That was the first class. And there were people like, "Oh, I wanna they're like, "Oh, I want to get better for my job," or my job bought me this. I want to be better talking. And I remember just being like, "My name is Ahmed. I'm here because I just love comedy."
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think, and to be more detailed about this answer, just like I just love the aspect. I love comedy. I love to laugh. I love entertaining people.
Yeah.
And I love just having a good time. And I just love the work aspect to it. Like I love just like what I was telling you earlier before we started. Like I love just writing and then going on stage and trying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that rush you get, talking in front of everybody. And it does, but what they were saying, I do feel that way too. I mean, comedy has made me a lot better as a person too. It made me a better listener, for sure. It made me very self-aware to a point where it made me like super insecure about it.
Man.
Well, I was already insecure, but then I was like,
now you can feed off of it, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, now I could express it in stand-up and in improv. But I guess to answer your why, just I love comedy. I just love to entertain. Yeah. And there's just something beautiful about this art form that I can't really explain. It's just based on my feeling. And I'm just following that feeling constantly.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, in a weird way, falling in love.
How so?
Because it was... I mean, I've never been in love before. And I'm not saying it as in like a depression. No, but I really
as in like hit him in the DMs kind of deal.
All right, but if so, no, I'm kidding.
I'll be in San Diego around Thanksgiving if anyone wants to come.
Follow me on Instagram at Ahmed from Dallas.
That's right.
Just send me a message saying, "So you're trying to fuck or what?" No, I'm kidding. What was I saying? But yeah, just like in a weird way, like when I did things because like growing up, like I would clean the house and I would like, for example, clean the house, make the lunches, and and be a good son because it made my parents proud of me.
Yeah.
And the feeling I would get knowing that my parents were proud of me and happy for me made me feel good.
Yeah.
So, which kind of like relates to stand-up. It's like, here's this idea I have, here's this premise that everyone is laughing and having a good time because of me. So that itself makes
you feel good.
It makes me feel so good.
Yeah.
I was getting somewhere and I completely forgot.
No.
Oh, yeah, the love thing. So but comedy to me, like I work as an accountant during the day. Like I do consulting, whatever, or temp work here and there.
Yeah.
It's good money. And luckily I have a degree, but it's like, I don't really get any satisfaction doing a bank reconciliation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you feel good, you feel accomplished. It's like, I got this done. You know, I fucking
But it's like
my
normal
debits and
productivity
credits.
stuff.
Yeah, like you know, cleaning your room and all that. That feels good. But the comedy was the first thing. It's like I feel extremely passionate about, and I feel so accomplished doing it because it's the first thing that's like, oh, I have to work my ass off to get good at this.
Yeah.
And it's a big challenge, and I fucking love it. And there's instant satisfactions along the way.
Oh, even better.
But then you look back at your old tapes, like, oh, I was getting all these laughs, but I sucked.
Yeah.
But so like I said, why I do this, I love comedy.
Yeah, heck yeah.
And then also another thing and us also to growing up, but it's not my full intention, but it's just like as a big why I do it is I just want the world to know that I'm a really funny person who happens to be Muslim. Mm-hmm. And there are Muslims like in this world that you meet that we're all just regular people, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to heaven, but like,
Yeah.
unlike you guys, but, but no, like it's really just, that's what we are. We grow up here. We're here to just like, we're normal people. We're just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
We're all just trying to have, like what Chris D'Elia says, a silly goose time, you know? So, that's why I do it, man.
Love it. I think you find a lot of it very rewarding because in a sense, like those people that were feeling pain and that's why they turned to comedy, I think people go to comedy clubs to relieve pain in a way.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I think
Damn,
you're the
that's a
pain
good
reliever.
Yeah. That's a good way
But
to
I
look at
I
it.
see that in you. Like you're compassionate about people and I think you do really find fulfillment from that.
Oh, I do. Like, which goes back to what we were talking about, like texting other people, making sure people are okay. Like, and I get that quality from my parents, like, especially my dad. Like, my dad loves helping people. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do. I enjoy helping people. And I enjoy, like putting a smile on someone's face. That's great, you know?
Yeah.
On a child. What if I talk like
nothing better?
I love the smile of a child.
Smile for me, Timmy.
Which is why I'm excited for the Joker movie. And I know this is such a weird transition, but the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, did you see the trailers, man?
No, I think I've seen
Oh my
the
God, it's insane. And I've been reading reviews. I'm so excited
You're
for
stoked.
them. I'm so stoked.
Are you going to be a midnight premiere kind of guy?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
No doubt.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is one of my favorite. Have you seen the movie Her?
No.
Oh gosh, such a good movie.
Dude, ramp me up to speed. We're gonna watch Dave Chappelle. We're gonna go watch Her. We're gonna have some chicken. We're gonna do it all right now.
I got nothing tonight until that. Like I said, I just have a show at 8. So if you want to just kick it with me, and I'm down. What do you have? Do you have anything else to do?
It might just happen. Well, I'll let you know all of my details off of the podcast. All right, I think that's where we're gonna end it. I love this. I think
This is a great podcast.
I thought it was great. Thank you for being on the show. I think you're a true testament of this, like finding the fulfilling life, right? Like you found the thing that you're passionate about, and you're bringing positivity into the world because of what you do and because of your passion. And I love that. So thank you for being on the show, Ahmed.
Thank you so much.
Where can we
Nickolas.
find you on the internet?
So I just changed my usernames just so for people to find me easier. So Ahmed from Dallas, AHMED from Dallas, DALLAS. So let me just spell it out: AHMED Oh my God. FROMDALLAS. So you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can add me on Facebook, Ahmed Alkadri. I'll just make I'll add you back, and then I'll make you like my page.
That's right. Yeah. Say that you know me. Say that you know me.
Yeah.
Slide in there.
If you found me from Nickolas' podcast, please let me know.
That'd be great.
I always, when I get followers, I really want to know where they're
coming from.
Yeah, where they're coming from. Did they just stumble across my videos, or did they just, saw me on stage, or did they just, hear me on a podcast? So I'm always want to know.
Final question before I forget.
Yeah.
This gets asked at the end of every podcast.
Ooh.
What's the life strategy from what we just talked about?
My life strategy? What do you mean?
Just the life strategy that we discussed here. What's something that they can pull away from and apply to their life?
Oh, to apply it to people's lives. Don't. Damn. Let me think. Do something that makes you happy. Follow your gut feeling. Get a hobby. Like right now, comedy is a really glorified hobby if you think about it. But yeah, find something you like that you enjoy, and if you and don't be afraid to try new things. Have different things that you want to try. Try new things. Get out there and be somebody. And just be a nice person. Be nice to everybody. Don't be a dick.
Yep. Change that to your Instagram bio.
Yeah, I understand anger is a healing emotion, but hey,
just be nice.
Yeah, just be nice to people. We didn't really talk about how organized I am, but get a planner. It'll change your life. Yeah. So
get a planner. My life strategy from this is going to be find the line and cross it and see if you can get away with it.
Yeah.
I think that's a beautiful one. Yeah.
That's a fun one.
And the last thing I'm going to say before we say goodbye, what is it when you think of something and then it happens?
Deja vu?
No, I don't know.
Repetition.
Never mind. I think this happened in episode 4 of this podcast.
Manifestation.
Maybe manifestation. Episode 4 of this podcast with DJ Trev D. I talked about Ahmed, and I didn't even realize that he was later going to be on the show. So go listen to the 4th episode.
Oh, nice.
He's the guy that pretended to know me when we first met.
Who, me?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's funny. I remember that. All right, man. I'm done. Let's get some chicken.
Let's do it. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.